Hey Shelby, how are you?
Good. How are you, Kelsey?
Good, thanks. How was your move?
All right, we're here.
Yay! Wonderful.
All the bulls made it, so that was positive.
Yeah, I saw your post. Awesome. No chips or anything?
No, I haven't seen anything. If there's anything, they're hairline fractures, and we'll find out later, but I think they're good.
Awesome.
Hey, Anna. Hey, Lori. Yeah, I saw the waves. Oh, Anna's muted. I know. Okay.
Every time I get on a Zoom call, I'm like, what am I doing?
You're okay. Yeah. We're here. We made it. Zoom's cooperating today. I didn't have a computer update today, so that was positive. Okay. I'll keep that up here. Let me look in the group. I think there were a number of people who said they were going. Oh, here comes Deborah. Yay! Hey, Deborah, welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Ooh, Deborah's in the Mediterranean today, huh?
I know.
Nice.
100 degrees. Even though technically I'm not supposed to be there since I'm American.
Oops. Well, you can go to Turkey, actually.
Oh, they let us there. So I crossed the border. Someone smuggled me in last night. Could have escaped.
Yeah. I like it though. It's a nice background.
Yeah, it's peaceful and there's bougainvillea, I think. Yeah.
I know we're still waiting on people, but you guys are welcome to share how you're doing, how are things going. We made it here, obviously, today, so that was great, but how are y'all doing?
I'm all right. I was sharing with Shelby earlier. So the place I'm living in, I knew it was going to be on sale, but then we had that COVID situation, so that put it on hold. So I'm assuming that woman is better. It's funny, I saw this like cinder block outside of our mailbox, and I was like, that must be for this for sale sign, and it is. So they put that back up today and changed the icky locks on the front door so that it could be easier for people to show the place. The cool thing is, at least I don't have to be seen, or my room doesn't have to be seen. They're trying to sell it as an investment property, but it's one of those things where it's like, all right, I really need to be moving forward and moving away from here. So just another reminder. And at least I don't feel as icky about my icky client today. So I really appreciate Lori's suggestions, Shelby's help, which you didn't see, and Zafra's suggestions as well. Like, really grateful for this group. So that's where I'm at right now.
Well, thank you for sharing, Deborah. I'm glad the client situation is better today, but yeah, it feels like new.
I think it will just be it'll change day to day. I think the stuff that I was stressing out about like today, I think I copied this from Sark. Like I was just like, I'm gonna talk to everyone's higher selves, like including the people that I don't like right now, and just be like, can you help me? Can you please be nice? I just need to get through this. And so seems like everyone's been agreeable. We'll see, but I think I was just like, I'm tired of expecting the worst, and I think my guys were like, why don't you try expecting the best and just see how that is. Let's just play with that instead of me like preparing like for doomsday and like trouble. So I think that's also helping a bit.
Good. I'll take that. I saw like everybody's faces who I can see kind of like, we're like, yeah, when you said preparing for the best instead of preparing for the worst. So I like that.
It's not a Capricorn thing to do, so I'm just like, well, let me just try to play some other sign where they're being hopeful. Like, I don't know, Sag, who's like, oh, it just always works out somehow. I'm like, all right, let's draw that energy.
I like that. So what I took for that from what you said, Deborah, is moving forward and preparing for the best.
Yeah. I think that's actually can be applied to everything, not just this icky client situation. So yeah, I need that mind shift because I'm just so used to being like triage. Where do you want me? How can I like solve a crisis versus like maybe not everything's a crisis. So, maybe. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Is anybody else feeling similarly, differently?
As far as like oh, sorry, was someone else going?
No, I was calling you because I saw you moving towards it.
Yeah, as far as like the moving forward part, I have so many like open or active invitations right now, and so really finding like I feel an energetic sense of trust that things are unfold as they are, but also still I'm aware of past patterns I've had of not completing things. But all of these invitations feel like things to complete, whereas before they weren't aligned to things to be doing. So just ushering in that newness of having things that I do. And then expansive and crippling or another thing to do. So yeah, just figuring out what works for me and then doing it.
The newness kind of aspect to this, and that like repeating thread it's starting to it's like so far, and from what you said, Lori, and kind of what I'm gleaning from Deborah is like cycles sort of ending and like beginning new patterns and new cycles.
Yeah, and with Anna's point earlier in the comments about the Leo new moon, it's really the time to be starting cycles you want to complete. So, yeah, and even things that I have been putting off for 2 or 3 weeks, like opening up a new credit card. It's like, I know I'm doing that, but I just haven't. So, like, taking this energy is like, oh, that's something that allows me to shift things that I want to shift. So, yeah, just doing the things that I want to do.
Awesome. Who else is feeling similarly or differently? I'll call on somebody. Okay.
Yeah, so I definitely feel all that, like with what Deborah is saying. So for me, like hope and faith stuff has it's inherent for me. So it's easy, I would say, probably comparatively certainly to the experience that how you're sharing, Deborah. But I feel like renewed relationship with that. because it's really like, for me, it is a relationship with faith. It's a relationship with, and like when I say faith, I don't mean like specifically religiously, but just faith, like in whatever, like that I'll breathe this next moment, right? Like that kind of stuff. So that's really cool. And I haven't been on a call since I moved, but we're in our new house now. So a lot of that, you know, definitely it's not by accident, right, that I moved and a lot of people are moving right now, because there's that like renewed energy, and like it just feels really delicious, honestly, and it feels really correct. That's something I'm playing with rather than saying bad or good, but like, does it feel correct for me, right? And it just feels, yeah, so I definitely feel a lot of the same themes that people are talking about, like, well, the things we're working on and then just deepening, you know. Yeah, right. Yeah, I have all this. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I'm gonna do a live stream at some point on the house because it's so cool.
Yeah, that would be fun to see. If you don't do it in the group, you'll have to like tag us or share it into the group or something.
Yeah.
I also like your cup. Just sharing that out.
It's purple. Well, it's early for me. It's like 9 a.m. I'm like, it's weird.
Yeah, it is a big difference. Do you find that you're getting up really early now, comparatively, or do you feel like you do pretty well?
No, wait. So because we took our time going across, we were in the different time zones for a couple of days. And I think we were in mountain time zone for quite some time. And so that really helped the transition. But so something that my sleep cycles are a lot better. Like my going to bed and my waking up is a lot better. In terms of, it's easier to wake up. So I usually, like in the past, it would take me hours to get out of bed, where now it's like, it's just much easier. But yeah, I'm waking up like around between 7 and 8. So nothing crazy, but it's a good time to wake up. It feels correct. And like, so I'm just kind of going with it. And then we have Adeline on a better sleep schedule. She made the decision to start going to bed, for me to lay down with her and put her to bed at 9:30. And it's a huge big deal. Like, so she'll stay up all night if you let her. And then she'll sleep all day because she's a 12-hour girl. Like, she needs her 12 hours, or, you know, and so anyway, this is a big deal. And she agreed to it last night. We were laying down and she's like, I don't want to go to sleep. It's boring to go to sleep. I'm like, I know it's boring, but it's going to be great in the morning. So yeah, sleep stuff has been a lot better.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
So is there anything else you wanted to add to or what's been going on lately?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I know this isn't like the mentoring call, but I'll also state, like, for other people who maybe are in similar situations, I'm currently in the launch that I made a post just now that's hysterical. It's, you remember the Lamb Chop song? This is the song this is the launch that doesn't end. So there's that, but like there's a renewed sense of like, okay, now, which I think is totally like matched up with everything a lot of us are feeling, right? That like, it's not like brand new things per se that we're going through. It's just like this spiral of being in this space, like where I don't know, the word that wants to come up is like matured in whatever stage we're in, right? Like that which is super cool, because I know, yeah, it's just neat to be in that feeling. So that's part of it too, is that there's this maturity. I hadn't thought about that, but that's what it feels like.
I like that. All right, can we show up hands real quick? Who else feels like they're in a launch that never ends right now? Okay. Okay. Good. Yay. Okay. Welcome, Kathy, and Kelsey gave a thumbs up. Okay. So we've got a few. We'll put a note there. All right. Welcome, Kathy. Just FYI, we're just talking about where we're at right now. So everybody's just kind of sharing. So we haven't started yet. Lori's gone, Alexis is gone, Deborah's gone. Who else wants to update? And like, Pam, all right.
Hey. So yeah, with this theme of like moving in, like starting new things and that, like what I've been struggling with is sciatica. I'm trying to move that energy out. So it's any help on, I guess, releasing all the things actually physically, but nice and gently, that don't need to come into this next phase, right? I think that about sums it up. Alexis?
Yeah, when you were talking, what came to mind is nourishment. It's almost like what just came through was like that a lot has been cleared out, and now it's like this vacuum space, and that some of the
Yeah.
pain might be deficient pain now, right?
Yeah, and yeah, I guess, yeah, allowing in the good stuff, like, because there is space and it's going to want to be filled,
Yeah.
but we want to make sure that it's the right stuff.
Yeah.
Or the right stuff, yeah.
The correct stuff, right?
The correct stuff, there we go. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling. That's where I'm at.
Looks like Anna mentioned the crystal for you.
Amazonite. I'm going to have to see if I have any. We'll have to look. Thank you.
Who else wants to share? Kathy.
Hello.
No.
Oh, I just, if we're talking about clearing out, I have been in kind of a funk for a month. I actually started to recognize that I was having depressive symptoms. And I don't think I'm in SSRI land yet, but it's like, oh, I've got to really start doing some things that are different, because realizing that I feel like just crying in the middle of the afternoon for no real reason is not good, you know. And I really feel it's like I feel like I need to start over in terms of a lot of things, but I noticed that the most recent round of clients I attracted when I was doing the past life work, I just put out, this is what I do. First of all, they were blown away and giving me recommendations, which is great. But they were a different age group. They were older than I thought my clients were going to be, which is fine. And they were, rather than being spiritual beginners, they all had done quite a lot of spiritual work. And I'm wondering, because of the way I do the guided meditations and stuff, well, two things. First, maybe I should just assume that the people I'm going to work with are going to be more spiritually experienced, and just, you know, kind of right that way. But then I've always resisted. I've always said I didn't want to teach Wicca 101. I didn't want to teach beginners. And I'm starting to also feel that I'm leaving a lot of people out if what I do is automatically just grabbing more advanced people. And so I'm thinking, well, should I set something up that's more of a beginning level program? And I don't have the answer for that. These are things that are just all kind of sifting around. although I'm feeling really excited when I start talking about that. So, you know, so there's those two things. And then I also, if you read my little response from Monday, you know that I had to have a COVID test last week. I have one housekeeping client left, and her teenage son just sort of drifted through the room being sort of sullen and draggy, but then it's like, yeah, the kid's a teenager, you know. And then I get the news that, you know, you don't have to bother with his room. He doesn't feel good. He thinks maybe he has pink eye. And I'm like, I've known people who have pink eye, and it doesn't put you flat on your back. You just put on an eye patch and go about your business. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I finish up and I leave. And then I get the message like later in the afternoon that he was exposed to someone who had it over the weekend, and his test came back positive. And I'm like, I knew those little fuckers were going to be the disease vectors into that house. There's 3 teenagers. And I wanted to quit there forever. I mean, they're lovely people. I just don't want to do that anymore. But it is, you know, steady money. So anyway, I'm supposed to go back Wednesday. I haven't heard. I tested negative. It was a horrible, anxious 48 hours, but I didn't have it, and I'm grateful. But it just brought up a lot of things about really getting clear and getting focused and doing things. And they have not even called me back because the rest of the family was tested or texted me to say, we were all negative. We were all positive. This other person was positive. What do you want to do? I'm supposed to go there tomorrow. And I understand the kind of angst and emotion that's around this because, you know, my husband and I were like separate ends of the house, separate floors. He wouldn't even kiss me for 2 days after the negative result came back because he was so freaked out. And I'm like, I have worked for you people for more than 10 years now. I deserve at least the courtesy. I mean, I don't care what else is going on. I'm supposed to be there tomorrow, and I deserve the courtesy, you know? And I'm just, oh, thank you. Anyway, and I saw my own nurse practitioner yesterday for something else and asked her, and she's like, well, it's really a low risk activity. And if they're not there, and I'm like, well, of course they're there. Where else is anyone going to be? And so she was like, well, if you want to go, it's probably okay. But I'm just really, as I talk about it, I realize how angry I am. And for me, the question is just, I don't want to quit with no notice. That's rude. I don't want to go in tomorrow. I'm pissed that they haven't called me back. And then it's like, if I do, they did just pay me, and I do need the money this month. But it's like, my fear has always been that if I leave there with nothing firm set up, that, I won't be able to I would really have like till mid or late September to make back the money to, pay my basic credit card debt and all that. But I just have this fear that if I let go of that nothing else will come in and I won't make it. And that's what's kept me there that long, frankly. And I mean, it's long, it's rambling, but that's just what I'm sitting with today. Just the fear of being unsupported.
I know this is a mentoring call. It's just that.
I know, and that was mentory, but
no, but I wanted to share,
and
I wanted to share something that might be of help, because I feel like with my icky client, I'm in the same place. But I feel like circumstances keep pushing, like, oh yeah, you don't want to be here. Really, really, Deborah, you don't want to be here. No, you're not going to endure this. This is bad. So I bring that up I'm going to fire this client, but I bring that up because before, when I had even entertained firing, I was like, the money's okay, like it would be helpful. But then just bad stuff kept happening where I was being disrespected. That was really, I mean, that's the bottom line for me. Is this worth my time? Is this worth the effort? Is this worth enduring disrespect? And I feel like those clients are disrespectful. So I would just at least pay attention to, like, do you do you think that maybe you're being pushed out circumstantially? And then if that's the case, that's almost kind of out of your control. Then you can like toss it to the universe to be like, all right, obviously I'm not supposed to be here. What's next? But that's, at least that's just from my experience. I don't know if that tracks with you, but I see like similarities that were like in similar places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I sensed, Deborah, you were going to say something because I've been following the saga of the terrible client. Because
It has been a saga.
I've attracted some of those myself and fired their asses. But yeah, maybe I'm becoming codependent. Maybe that's part of it. And honestly, if I were still single and living alone, that $500 a month, that would be my rent and part of my utilities. Oh wait, the last place that would have been my rent. And anyway, but I mean, it would be big. And here it's more like I would just, tell my husband that I've been paying this business debt myself, and now you're just going to have to chip in. And it wouldn't be fun, and it certainly wouldn't be pleasant. I mean, it'd be kind of new, but it's not like we couldn't cover it, It'd be like, so this month you don't buy $500 worth of graphic novel collections. Suck it up, So I could get by. It's just I like, debt that I've taken out for my own business, even if now I look at some of that debt and say, well, that was stupid. Those were terrible mentors. Why did I pay you? But it's mine and I did it and I feel like I should pay for it. And so it's just more of an honor thing than, we will have to go live in a box if I don't keep this client.
It can still be heavy.
Yeah.
So we can definitely work some of that in there too. It sounds like everybody so far is in different parts of a cycle. It almost sounds like, so we're like a renewed sense of whether it's starting again or refocusing or what have you. It seems like there's also this element of self-care and nourishing that's been very important. Things like that. So, Kathy, was there anything else in there that you wanted to share or focus on today?
No, I think that's, oh, well, okay. I feel like I'm taking up a lot of time, but one tiny little thing. This person she was a reference, and I don't know that she would have been attracted to me without a referral, and that's okay. But I usually do past life root work, and she had some trauma in her childhood that she was trying to recall, and she couldn't quite. She's like, I know vaguely what happened, but I just feel like I need confirmation. And she was terribly abused and molested by her parents, her brothers and sisters. Oh, no, brothers, sorry, there were no sisters. But, it was bad. And she's definitely got some issues and needs a therapist and has had a therapist. And I was realizing that part of the time I started falling into this really deep funk is when I started working with her. And I feel like she could definitely benefit from some more sessions. She's got one more she's paid for. But it's like, I hate to feel like I'm abandoning her at her hour of need. But I just don't, it's just really intense. And it doesn't affect me as much as it used to when I'm walking with clients in some of those dark spaces. I can shut it out better. But I feel like she's just bad for me. And I just don't want to work with her anymore.
Kathy, if it's helpful, I can send you the contact of someone who specializes in exactly that, just in case considering an option of like transitioning them out of your energy.
I would appreciate that, because I mean, I was perfectly capable of going back and saying, you know, I see you're working from a photo, I see this, 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 and this. And it fit in with her memories that existed. But yeah, in terms of helping her long term, it's not something I have done, and it's honestly not something I want to do.
I can send that after this session. Just
I would
so
really appreciate
options.
that. And maybe that's why I felt that I should bring that up, because you had that information.
And I just had the woman just had a workshop this morning of just how to meet your inner critic and have a conversation. So like, even that, yeah, so I can totally send that.
Yeah, that would be good, because she's going to need continued support, whether it's a therapist or someone who specializes more in this. Now, other trauma I can deal with, child sexual abuse is its own whole therapy, section. But thanks. Okay, I'm done now. Thank you all for being so patient and listening.
Of course. Get it all out so we can work through it and get together. Thank you, Kathy, for sharing all of that.
You're welcome.
Right. Kelsey, Anna, are you guys feeling anything similarly, differently going on?
Yeah, I think energy management is kind of a big deal right now. I think there's so much happening in the world that it's a little bit challenging. I mean, all of us are empaths. It's a little bit challenging to keep your energy separate from other people's, even if we have practices. And it's exhausting. Like, the world is just exhausting right now. We're all kind of maybe experiencing a little bit of that, but I know I am.
No, I think that makes sense, and that goes back to what you had said to me yesterday about self-care, but then also I think ties into, for everybody, more self-care and nourishment, which I think was mentioned earlier too. So I think that makes sense. Was there anything you wanted to add to that, or did you feel on that?
Well, I don't know that this pertains to the Reiki today, but transformation, actually some other people have mentioned this change. It's a new moon in Leo, and this moon especially, I'm a Leo, it's my birthday this week. This moon especially is about transformation. And I struggle with my birthday hard. I was left on a doorstep, foster care, and then some pretty serious childhood abuse and stuff like that. So my birthday every year is sort of I fall into a deep depression, and this is the first year that I haven't. So that's a huge win. But I also feel like because of that, there's something, I just sort of feel like I'm on the precipice of something, I guess. The support from this group has been very, very important to me the last year. So thank you, everybody.
You're welcome. We're all excited. And you have 2 days till your birthday, right? It's on the 20th? Okay. Yay. Okay. So I'll have to celebrate. That, yeah, like Trevor says, that is such a big win especially with everything going on. And like, it's like, I think Deborah and I have talked about this, like we're playing on like hard mode right now. Like if we're all playing a video game or like we're playing a game, whatever, like we decided to like play the extra hard version. So we're not on easy mode right now. We're playing on a hard mode with everything. And so everything we're doing on top of that is just like so much harder, but it's also that much more impressive that we're doing all of that. So
Yeah. Well, and my therapist retired last September. Like it's hard to find, well, like you guys were saying, it's hard to find a therapist who specializes in childhood trauma. And she did depth psychology or something like that. And she retired. And so like that sort of threw me into like this abandonment, like, oh, even my therapist is going to leave me. You know what I mean? So this year, like just trying to find somebody else. And then you kind of get into that first session and tell them like your childhood stuff. And they're like, yeah, I don't really even have anyone I can refer you to. Well, she did give me a referral, yes. But then the person who I started seeing quit taking my insurance. But in spite of all that, it's still been a good year. In spite of all the crap.
yeah, it's funny that you still come through to actually like have a non-major depressive episode per day. Yay! Yeah. Elsie, did you want to share?
Sure. So I have an analogy, but I feel like it's a really gentle analogy compared to what I feel or what I have been feeling. But I feel like this segment has been like shaking up a snow globe. It's been shaking up so much stuff within me, and it's like a big roller coaster. It's like, okay, I got this. Ooh, you know, it's feeling kind of good. And it's like, oh, crash. And then back and forth. I've been having so much stuff come up. Stuff that I thought I had worked through many years ago. Like stuff that I struggled with real bad in my early years, like my childhood and teenage years, youth stuff. Not youth stuff, but stuff in my youth, like having severe OCD and being like having certain fears about diseases in particular. So like, hello, Corona. Hello, fucking friend. You have come here to teach me a message. But anyway, all stuff that I thought I had worked through, it's really being shaken up. So it's like, it's almost like, oh my gosh, this stuff had not been resolved and moved through necessarily. Perhaps it had just gone dormant because I did so much work by myself. I did like this massive transformation in my life. Like it's crazy how far I've come. You would not recognize me if you had known me earlier in life at all. But yeah, so that's just kind of, it's really surfacing. And I think I've said this before, but I find that the breaking point for me is the issues with my doggo. It's like, I got this. And then until she starts feeling unwell and it's like, oh no, I don't got this. But yeah, it's like, and every time too, I think I can talk about it without feeling like, I don't know, unstable is not the word, but it's like, I can't talk about it without getting really upset. But yeah, that's a chord for me for sure. And it's been, yeah, it's such a thing for me. And it's bringing up, it's weird how it's connected to so many other things. It's not weird in the sense that traumas are connected, but yeah, I'm feeling things that I haven't felt for many years and just feeling almost like, what's the word? like that could be my kryptonite. I think that might be hard for a lot of people to understand, but yeah, it's my thing for me. And my kiddo has been having some rough days again lately, and we don't know what the fuck's going on. Lots of chats with the vets and stuff, but yeah, it's a whole journey, and that's been feeling rough. And so it's bringing up all kinds of stuff in me, as I said. Even it's really amplifying the other things that are going on, like the other people in my family who are quite unwell as well. And it's even starting to bring up things in like my body where it's almost like I'm manifesting it myself. It's not happening, but I'm experiencing it as happening because it's so intense that like things are wrong with my body. So I'll feel like physically unwell. And then I'll get freaked out because I'm like, oh God, there's like, you know, life-threatening viruses floating around, threatening everybody in the world and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm feeling in these very recent days just turbulent for sure. Yeah. So nourishment really comes up in a big way. I think that is so very needed right now. Nourishment and replenishment. Because I think a lot of things are being so shaken up to be cleared out right now. And I think a lot of things are actually being surfacing to be removed, or at least for the opportunity to be removed. And similarly to Anna, though not the same story, it's funny because my birthday is one day after hers. I have a lot of really heavy feelings around my birthday as well. That also has to do with family. Yeah, birthday twinsies. I love that. And it's something that each year I make an effort to change. Like I'll try to, positivity is not the word that I'm looking for right here, but it's the only one I can think of. It's like I will do my best to sort of shift that inner narrative that, you know, bad things happen on my birthday or I get mistreated on my birthday in particular. Nonetheless, there's still heavy feelings around it, especially kind of this year where I feel a little extra isolated. And it's funny because at this point it's a choice because there's so many other people in the world who are pretending that, you know, COVID-19 is not a thing anymore because they got fucking sick of it. And I'm sitting here like, well, everybody else is socializing and partying. And I'm like, no, so it's a choice. So I'm also isolated and I'm also like, well, I'm doing it to myself. So it's an interesting feeling. Lots of interesting feels right now. I feel like that was a really heavy share, but thank you for the space.
Of course. And I think we could get philosophical about choices too, and I think this goes for everybody. Okay. This is better, Anna? Okay. I think we could get really philosophical about choice. And this goes for everybody. Like, if you only have the choice between like chocolate or death, like, do you really have a choice? And so, like, in this situation, Kelsey, if it's stay home and be safe or go out and get sick, do you really have a choice? And it's that, like, yes, we could rationalize, yeah, we do have a choice within making one or another, but it's kind of like a default choice, right? Like, you don't actually really have the freedom because there are so many other choices. Like, if it's take or death, right? Like, what do I choose? It's like, right. You don't really have the choice of like, can I have pie? You know, like it's a very limited scope of things. So I want to say that for all of us, like when we have these sort of like narrow choices like this, it still looks like a choice and it feels like a choice, but it's so limited that it's not really right to put all that pressure on ourselves. ones making that choice, because it's sort of already been decided for you in a sense, right? Like you only get one of two things.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to like say that for everybody, that like we can have a little bit of grace and whatnot in the choices that we are being given and in the decisions that we have to make in this space, because it's really hard right now, and not all of them are choices that like we get to fully freely make, right? So for everybody, a little grace and a little self-compassion in that space. And because we're all having to like make these choices too, Kelsey. It's not just you, but definitely like in your situation, but we all have to make choices about like Kyle and I had to just make a choice about like where do we move, because we couldn't stay in the apartment that we were moving into. And so our brain likes to go like, well, maybe I could make this work. Like, am I just like making the wrong decision because I'm like choosing to leave? And it's like, no, you literally don't have a choice, because we couldn't stay there else Kyle would be sick. So like,
Mm-hmm.
that's not really a choice. That's like not really an option. So while it still hurts, and while we're making choices that may still hurt us, I think doing really well with making the decisions with what you have. And I think that goes for everybody right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. So we affirm you a little bit, like reflect back to you that you're doing the best you are with what you have. And I think that goes for everybody right now, because like we said earlier, like we're playing on extra hard mode right now. Like we're going through life and we're like, let's just like bump up that difficulty a little bit, you know. So we will do a little bit of clearing and releasing today, and then we'll shift into like this healing nourishment kind of stuff, since a lot like it's been stated. I liked your analogy, like the snow globe, Kelsey, with like all these things are kind of being shaken up, and things that like we thought that we moved through before, and it's just another layer, or as Alexis said, like maturity of that spiral. So we'll move into like that nourishment healing, and then we'll move into clarity and forward momentum, because there's a lot that like the launch that never ends, things like that. Like we're kind of in this period where it feels like there's this never ending, and we want to keep moving forward. So, does that sound good for everybody? Okay, I see some nods. Yep, okay. All right. So go ahead and get comfortable. Yeah, you can keep the thumbs up. Go ahead and turn off your videos if you want. Make sure everybody's muted. Okay. All right, and we're working with the space. So let's got all the bowls out. So per usual, we have the root over here, and then we're kind of snaking them across instead of like a U shape. So we're kind of snaking them across into the crown. So just take note as we move through if there's one that resonates the most. If not, don't worry about it. I like that, Lori. Sometimes we're done with an issue before it's in the past. I feel like that's how a lot of people are feeling about COVID. We're done with COVID before it's actually done. What else? If you have water, make sure you're drinking that, sipping that. And yeah, just get comfortable. Go ahead and close your eyes. Find that relaxed, comfortable breath within your body. That like, I kind of think of it like that deep, restful breath, like after you've been meditating or as you're laying in bed and it's like a very peaceful night. That kind of breath. So just go ahead and find that within your body. And we'll just focus on relaxing for the next few moments. So you can even tense different parts of your body and release them to make sure that you're letting go of that tension. Wiggle it out a little bit. Allow your body to relax into your seat, your bed, your pillows, whatever you have. You can place your hand on your chest or your belly, feeling your breath. And with each breath, continue to allow yourself to relax. It's safe to relax. It is safe to be comfortable. It is safe to melt into your chair, your bed, your pillows, etc. And then take a big deep breath, filling your body. Release it completely. And with that release, allow yourself to sink into you, into that soul piece, into that divine connection piece, into your heart space, whatever it is, wherever you're called to sink into today. And with each tone from the root bowl, you'll sink deeper and deeper into that space, more completely into that space. From here, we will begin to clear and release. So go ahead and feel the energy moving through you. Start coming down from the outer layers of your aura above you, down through those layers, down through your crown, moving into your head, through the third eye, moving through your brain, through your jaws, releasing any tension, down through the throat, down into your shoulders, releasing any weight that you are carrying, any burdens, anything that is not yours, down into your chest and your heart, through your lungs, releasing any loss or sorrow or sadness, anything that is unnecessary or exceptionally heavy. Moving down into your torso and your solar plexus. Moving through your stomach and your liver and your spleen and all the things that are there. Allowing it to relax your spine. Moving down through your digestive tract and into your sacral. Moving through those kidneys, feeding them and releasing anything from your body and processing. Moving through any of your sexual organs, through your hips, allowing those to relax, allowing them to de-stress, release, feel open. Moving into your root, down your legs, through your knees, down into your feet and your ankles, releasing any tension, any soreness. Where the energy continues to move down through the layers of your aura, and down out into the earth, to be exchanged and transformed. Take a deep breath, drawing in all of the nourishing energy that you're exchanging with the earth. Drawing it up into your body. And if you need to release and take another breath to continue that journey, that energy, that's okay. And then release. If you need to do this a couple of times, that's okay. Breathe in, bringing up the nourishment from the earth, establishing that connection. And release. You can do it again. Bringing it up through the root, through the sacral, and solar, and heart, and throat, and third eye, and crown. And just allowing it to move through those outer layers of your aura, wash around you, exchange into the universe, the cosmos, whatever above you. And the Reiki and EP and the energetics that are mine and yours are going to continue to flow in through the crown, wash through your energy downwards. Down into the earth. So you are a conduit for this energy moving down into the earth and the energy moving up from the earth through you, clearing any debris, anything that's sticky, anything that isn't correct or in alignment that you might be ready to release, that you might not be ready to release yet, but you know that it needs to happen, prepping for that, allowing it to move through you. And just breathe through that process. That gentle, relaxed breath is safe, is all right, it is easy, it is gentle, it is okay. It's all right to go slow, releasing the energies. You have the space to do that now. To allow things to shift and release. All that is being released doesn't have to be experienced by you in this moment. It doesn't have to be experienced to be released in this space. It is safe just to release it. and with the space that has been created, we will be receiving healing and nourishment, receiving clarity and forward momentum. But before we bring that all in, just take a moment to experience the space, this in between. Breathe through the space, just making note of what it feels like, what you're receiving, if anything. And on your next breath, I want you to breathe in deeply again, really filling your lungs. And then really letting go on that exhale. Maybe something like that, depending on your comfortability. And if there's anything else other than healing, nourishment, clarity, and forward momentum that you'd like to receive, go ahead and state those intentions to yourself. You can do so aloud or in your head or in your heart, wherever you would like to state them. Allow them to, it's almost like allowing them to integrate and for the program to integrate. When you can repeat them to yourself, take a moment here. And now we will begin receiving. Know it is safe to receive. It is safe to allow these energies to move through you, into your energy, into your lives, to be anchored into your energy and into the earth. It is safe, it is safe, it is safe to receive. Take another deep breath. And allow yourself to receive. So the first thing coming through is nourishment, like prepping the soil for healing, for the seeds to be planted. If you receive any messages or images, or words or thoughts, just make note of them. If you feel called to explore them, that is all right as well. But we are just setting the tone for the rest of this with the nourishment. Allow your cup to be filled. Allow the fertilizer to mix into your soil, whatever it looks like. So as you're allowing the nourishment to seep into your energy, your mind, your body, all of the parts of you that make you you. Would you take a moment to breathe with me? Breathing in and releasing, and breathing in and releasing. One more, breathing in and releasing. Feel the energy radiate through you, the nourishment fill you. Feel the warmth of the sun, coolness of the water, coolness of the soil, the warmth of the nourishment. Allow it to radiate upon you. And the scene is set for your healing. It isn't beginning or ending, it is just a continuation of the healing you've already been doing and experiencing and facilitating within yourself and within your life, and even within the circles around you. So above you is a gorgeous crystalline diamond shape crystal object, energy, whatever it kind of takes appearance to you. It is this beautiful elongated crystal shape. So we think of chandeliers or things like that, where it's this very elongated shape. It is above you, rotating slowly. As the light hits it, it creates rainbows cascading down around you. And each facet of that light, each color of the rainbow, fills your energy, facilitating whatever aspect of healing you seek, you need, you desire. Maybe that you didn't even realize you were looking for. Allow it to fill your energy. Allow them to seek out the roots and the seeds and the entanglements of things. Allow them to move through you so you can let go, so you can trust, so you can shift, you can transform. Whatever it may be, allow this rainbow that is cascading around you and through your energy to do what it needs. And all you have to do is breathe, is enjoy it, and allow it to move through you. And as this rainbow of colors dances around you and through you, a spark of light appears before you. It's white, setting it apart from all of the rainbows and colors dancing around you. Take a moment to breathe. Feel curious about this white light appearing before you. It grows bigger and bigger until it encompasses your entire vision. Here, we're moving into clarity. So far, you've cleared and released energy, making room for all of the things. You've received nourishment and healing, which will continue in the days to come. Now you're going to receive the clarity for moving forward. The clarity around any healing that took place or will be taking place. Clarity for whatever renewed pattern or new pattern or cycle you are entering. You can see the precipice that you are coming upon, or you have been standing at the edge of. Or you can see where your next steps are leading you. I want you to receive all of this information, allow it to anchor into you, whether you are currently aware of it or not, allowing it to move in and anchor in. You may realize it later. It may reveal to you when it is time. But trust, have that faith, have the hope and knowing that it is there. And we'll take a few moments here to allow it to be received and integrate and anchor in. Take a deep breath. Release it. Feel the hope and excitement and curiosity for what's to come. Feel that little bit of fire within. Take a deep breath, filling your heart space. Release it. You may be feeling a tug or a pull from somewhere within, pulling you forward. Follow that. If you don't feel it, just go ahead and start moving forward. We're going to build this hope and curiosity and this little spark into momentum for continuing to move forward. We can move through the cycle and the pattern so that they reach maturity, so that we are able to complete the launch that feels like it never ends, so that we are able to move beyond the precipice, so that we are able to take whatever leaps of faith so that we may receive ourselves onto the other side of whatever it is. Because there is it's like the height of a breath. There's that expansion before we release. We're able to move through that point so we're not feeling like we're stuck there. But we're able to exhale and relax and enjoy the fruits of our labor, so to speak, or enjoy what has come to fruition from what we've planted. So we're going to now build this energy. If you need to, go ahead and just wiggle out any tension. Feel into this new space and new energy. Take a sip of water if you need it. This is the last little bit. Let yourself relax again. Sink in and feel the energy build within you so you have the reserves to do what you are called to do, what you want to do, what you need to do. So just breathe. Allow it to fill your energy. Allow it to accumulate. You have the momentum. Go ahead and take another deep breath. Breathing in and then releasing. Allowing yourself to feel your body through your fingers and toes. Again, stretching and wiggling and rotating. And if you haven't opened your eyes yet, go ahead and take one more deep breath. Release it, and then open your eyes. Come back. It looks like not only were the puppies kind of out, it looks like everybody was sort of out and a little dreamy there. Does anybody want to share? I'm gonna move this pole so I can get closer, but you are welcome to share how you are.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Go ahead.
I've never felt so much happening during one of our sessions together, and I think that's also because I believe this was the first time I was awake. Or just like able to go through the different parts. And it was so nice because there were several moments where you were about to cue some sort of shift, and I would be seeing this imagery of either a door opening or turning a corner, and I could tell I was like in between places because I would have this huge flinch which would happen at the exact cue you gave, which would like tie into whether I was opening that door, turning, or whatnot. But yeah, I saw a lot of visuals, and it felt nice to not have the mental pressure of trying to figure out what they were, because they weren't things that were like, you know, necessarily like, oh, that is my neighbor from 7 years ago, you know, like they weren't identifiable necessarily. But yeah, a lot of faces, a lot of feelings, and then like I saw the rainbow. I believe you said to see a rainbow, or I told myself something about a rainbow, but and yeah, so usually I see things in grayscale, so it was nice to see different colors. Yeah, and then I really felt towards the latter half like all of the energy building. Yeah, and I still am trying to identify what location I feel things in, meaning like I still kind of feel like my solar plexus and spleen and sacral are all kind of like having a sleepover, and I don't really know who's what, but there was just a lot of really intense yeah, energy, but like I think it's because it felt nice to have energy. But yeah, so I really appreciated that ability to have all of the yeah, just to actually experience all of the different flows and sequences. And it really did give me a sense of, yeah, shedding and releasing, because all of the like flinchy sort of like door opening things were the at the beginning when we were still really doing the like releasing and the making room, and then feeling all that space that I didn't even know I had be filled up with energy was really nice. So yeah, I think that's what I have to share. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. Did I freeze? Okay. I think we had a little frozen moment. Okay. All right. Thank you, Lori. Does anybody else want to share? Hi, Kathy. Hi, go ahead.
Hi. I feel so much better now. Well, I like Lori just said, this one was more intense for me, and I think it wasn't the energy necessarily. Actually got up out of my desk chair, and I had this chase lounge in my office, very businessy, you know. And I laid down and relaxed, and both cats are, you know, on me. And yeah, I got this image that's important to me, that I tend to always go to this beach. Since I went to Hawaii, all my spiritual place is always like this one beach, which is interesting. But I had a really strong meditation some years ago when I was doing more fairy work, about seeing this one race of fairies come to Ireland, and I could like see them come out of the sea, the Fomori. And today I'm on the beach, and it's like they all came out of the sea again. And it's like this reconnection with my roots, and this reconnection with that kind of magic that I felt like I'd lost. And then also just being gathered into the sea by some of the sea fairies and just held there in that cleansing space while we did all our work. It was just really beautiful. And then I connected briefly with my teacher from that era and was asking about, you know, the teaching the basics. And she was just like, well, you know, the past life work that's a gift, and that's part of what you do, but it's not the whole thing. And yes, you're supposed to be teaching. I was like, well, that's interesting. So yeah, it was really good. And then this, I'm going to have to go back and see exactly who and what it is. I'm pretty sure I know, but just like my whole third eye was reignited. So and then some other stuff, like when we were doing the spleen, that the sacral area, it's like, yeah, you are being disrespected because you're letting people do it. And there are some personal things with my brother and sister I need to work with too. But yeah, it was just that whole strengthening of that area around setting better boundaries. So, but anyway, yeah, it was very good for me, and I feel much better and all wrapped in power.
Good. I'm all here for stronger boundaries and all those things. So I'm so glad. And Lori said that her third eye was active the whole time. So we're getting a lot of that. It seems like that was this one. I did play a lot of this one. So I guess
Yeah.
That's cool. So, and I love, like, I almost cried for a moment when you're talking about like the fairies coming back up and like also taking you to the ocean. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. This is the cat.
Yeah. I love your cat. That's like, you're done.
Oh.
Time.
Okay. Pay attention to me now. You have spoken.
Yep. Well, thank you, Kathy, for sharing. Was there anything else that you wanted to share before you got interrupted by your cat?
Not really, no. I mean, it was all very active, and it's the kind of thing where I wish I could take notes while I'm in that state, because it's like I will hear things, and now I'm sitting here and thinking, oh my God, I can't remember the exact words. It's like, I guess that doesn't really matter, But the important thing was that reconnection with what my magical roots are.
Yeah. No, I think that sounds like a very important takeaway that'll sort of spill into all the other things that you mentioned, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but also a message just to, but because I want to start moving forward, just to stay with the past life thing, like for the next month or so. I mean, because that's important, and that's, I can do another cash infusion around that easily. And then the other stuff will just develop as it needs to.
I like that. I like that. What did Alexa say earlier? That hope and faith stuff.
Yeah, the hope and faith stuff.
God.
Yeah, she's very impatient.
She is. She was like, it's my turn. So, Miss Kitty, you can have your turn. Did anybody else want to share? Alexis had to go. So, and nobody, you don't have to share. If you don't want to share, that's okay. I don't want to pressure anybody into sharing. Sometimes things are just not meant to be shared, or you don't want to, and that's okay. Okay. I see Kelsey's little hand. Can I unmute you? Oh no! I may have. There we go.
There you go. My little hand go up?
Yeah, there was like a little hand, and it was like I could lower your hand. It was really cool. Everybody else could see it, but yeah.
I've been clicking new features. So I'm like, ooh, what's this? What's this button do? Yeah. Well, this was a good session. They're all super good sessions. Thank you. So as always, there are some things running out of it that I don't remember, but the relevant pieces that I do remember were one big one for the first segment was there were snakes. And I'm like, this is so interesting. And I actually really like snakes, so it wasn't like a fearful thing for me, but there was this, they were black, and they were, oh gosh, now I'm losing the other color, like black and orange, I think, and had an awareness that these were poisonous snakes and they were in my energy. And I thought that was so interesting. And so I had this awareness that also liking and respecting snakes, and then that other awareness that they were poisonous and that they were in my energy, there was this feeling of acceptance of like, there's nothing wrong with these things, but they don't need to be in my energy. And so they left. I don't know how they left, but they were removed somehow. And I just thought it was so interesting. It's like they kind of went in peace. It's like there was just this awareness that, and I'm not even fully sure what it represents for me, but that there was nothing wrong with them, but it just wasn't, like, in my energy wasn't the place for them to be. And so, yeah, those left. That was super relevant for me. It's interesting. The colors are so vivid and so clear. And as soon as I start speaking, it's like they're gone. So maybe they were black and yellow. But anyway, yeah, that was fascinating for me. And another piece that I always find so interesting is that whole "you are safe" phrase. It always lands in an interesting way with me. On one hand, it feels really good because it's like, oh my God, I needed that reminder. I've lived so much of my life in survival mode that, you know, it's easy to forget that I am safe, or moments that I am safe to actually feel safe. And then also on the other hand, I see coaches throwing that around a lot and telling everybody that they're safe. And it's like, how do you know? How do you know that the people you're telling are safe, that they're actually safe? And so it just brought up a lot of stuff within me. It landed well in this session because I knew it to be true. And that was really healing for me. It's just funny how it's sort of, I guess dichotomous is the word for me. It's like, it has a lot of charge to it, but yeah. And then when you said specifically, you're safe to relax, I think it was that you said, and that's such a deep one within me. And it brought up a lot of stuff because I have this story within me that it's not safe to relax, because in times where I did relax, terrible things happened. It's like, I'll finally, give myself permission to have a nap, and I'll wake up to, bad news. Something happened to somebody, or, yeah, there's some really big ones around that. I gave myself permission to rest at one point. I had shoveled my driveway one winter, and I was going to go over to my mom's to do hers as well. And I just gave myself permission. It's like, you know what, Kelsey, you can have a nap first. You're absolutely exhausted and it's absolutely okay. And so I didn't go to her place. And then I woke up to a phone call that she had had a brain hemorrhage. And it was like, everything that followed was a complete nightmare. Total trauma all around that. And so there's that attached to it, but other things as well, where I finally do give myself permission to rest. And like, that's when things happen. It's really weird that that's kind of how it's worked in my life a lot of times. But yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot attached to that story. Not even like a story, but like, I guess reaction to what has happened, and then fear that is how it happens. So yeah, I always find that really interesting. I feel like a lot of work was done around that today. A lot of things that I just felt in my energy and wasn't completely cognitively aware of. And yeah, I felt a lot shift and a lot move in this particular one. There was more that came up, and now it's like waking up from a dream. It's like for the first few seconds of waking up, you totally remember it all. And then you try to remember the rest and it's gone. So I think that will be my share. Thank you so much, Shelby.
Yeah, you're welcome. The rest comes back later. You can also share it in the group. But I really appreciate you talking about the like dichotomy about like it's safe to whatever inside of meditations, because I see them, but I really don't know everything that's going on in your guys' lives, or how you're feeling about things, or like the history of things. And so it's definitely important to like honor that as well. But some people may truly just be feeling unsafe, and to say it's safe to whatever just is not harmonious and can even be harmful in ways too. So thank you for, thank you. I don't want to say like mirroring that, but whatever the word is, thank you.
Thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else want to go? Okay, don't have to. Okay, who is going once? Going twice? Going 3 times? Okay. All right. So we'll get the recording back to you all, so you will have it. On Thursday is the co-working call with Pam. Pam will be hosting that. That is super exciting. So I look forward to seeing you guys then. And then next week we are having the last, we're having the last mentorship call next week. So that'll kind of complete out our month. And I'm not 100% sure how next month is going to go or where Kristen's feeling, but we are still here to support you and to be with you and whatnot. So I'll keep you updated on all of the Kristen and baby Starlet happenings. So yeah. Does anybody have any questions about any of that stuff, any housekeeping stuff before we close out? No? Okay. All right, you guys are so welcome. Thank you for being here today and being a part of this. And I will see you in the group and also in a couple of days.